What is up, everybody? How's it going? Austin prechtelevate performance coming at you live. Ah, that's how we're starting this off. Let's go. Hope you're having a good day so far. Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's Winning Wednesday. It has been yeah, it's been a day already. I got my booster last night. Uh, that shit fucked me up pretty good. Just to be honest. But as you guys are tuning in, let me know how your day's going. Feel free to drop a like, drop a comment so I know you're here. And if you're watching this later time, hashtag replay so I know that you saw it. But I'm going to talk about briefly, like, I've probably, there's probably 10 different fitness trends that I think are kind of pointless or useless or like that you should avoid. But these are three that came to mind today that I want to talk about, just to help you, not waste your time with things that aren't going to actually help you get closer to your goals. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be talking about that. I don't feel very good right now. I am still recovering from my booster. It wrecked me last night, just to put it bluntly. But we're here. We got a little bit of caffeine going on, and yeah. So we're making it happen. We're making it happen. But yeah, I had a very 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 rough night. So. Yeah, I feel like I just went on like a crazy like drinking bender or something. Like I just the way I feel today compared to yeah, it was not a good time. But that's okay. That's okay. We're here. We're showing up, putting in that work. So let's talk about it. So first, useless or pointless fitness trend that you should be avoiding, right? And these are not in any particular order, right? Like of what's the most useless or whatever. Like I think that these are all kind of things that you should just avoid. But one, sweatsuits or sweatbands, right? Sweatsuits or sweatbands. Why do you ask? Well, they don't do anything for you. They're not going to help you, burn fat. They're not going to help you lose weight quicker. All it does is you're just losing water weight at the end of the day. It's the same kind of concept of going to the sauna, uh, or going for a run and sweating and things like that. Yeah, the scale may drop, but guess what? As soon as you drink a glass of water, you're gonna gain that weight back because it wasn't actually like fat that was lost. So don't waste your money on sweatsuits or bands. The only time that those are ever useful for anyone is whenever like boxers or like wrestlers are trying to like cut weight, and it's just water weight at the end of the day. It's not actually fat loss. So don't waste your money or your time with a sweatsuit or a sweatband because they're not gonna do anything for you. So that's the first one. Number two, though, right? Number two. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, right? Like, just think about it that way. Like, sweatbands aren't going to do anything for you. Sweatsuits aren't going to. We've all seen people like wear trash bags and stuff to the gym before. Um, Unfortunately, it's not going to do anything for you. At the end of the day, it's not going to help you burn more fat. It's not going to help you burn more calories or anything like that. All you're going to do is lose water weight from sweating an excessive amount. I've even seen people do like wear trash bags into the sauna and then do like push-ups and like workouts and stuff like in the freaking sauna. I'm like that's if you're somebody that's done that in the past, I'm sorry, but that's kind of dumb to do. It's potentially dangerous too. 'Cause, you run the risk of overheating whenever that happens. So Aaron says totally makes sense. Cool, good deal. Yeah. So sweatsuits and bands, they just don't do anything for people like in terms of like actual results. So number two though, overly this my second thing that I think is the most useless or something that you should avoid in your fitness journey is overly complicated workouts. Overly complicated workouts. Why do I say that? If you go on Instagram, you go on YouTube, you go on any social media, especially TikTok too, like you'll see somebody who's shredded or somebody who's in really good shape just doing some like crazy fucking like acrobatic like ab workout, or they're hanging from shit and they're like holding on to something and they're just doing all like they're flailing around and stuff. You don't need that. You see people doing all these crazy like different exercises to during their workouts, and it's like oh my gosh, like that looks extremely complicated. Like that looks like and it can be intimidating, right? For some people, especially if you're just starting out. And I'm here to tell you guys, if you're just starting out or if you've been in it for a while for your fitness journey, overly complicated exercises, like, they're unnecessary, honestly. At the end of the day, if you enjoy doing them, if you like switching things up and you like trying new things, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that that's great. I think that more power to you, like, go for it. But if you feel like you have to, like, do this next crazy big thing, or like you're trying to like confuse the muscle or whatever, no, that's not how it works. And they've studies have shown that, like, muscle confusion isn't really a thing, and it's best if you want to get the best results for yourself. You want to find, like, a a set amount of workouts or exercises that you really like, that feel good for your body, and your body's going to get really good at doing those movements. And because your body's going to get good at doing those movements, you're going to be able to make more progress, because your body's like it gets it gets better at doing like those motor patterns and things like that. And so if you're somebody who every single week is like, oh, I need to do a different workout, or I need to do a new workout, or whatever it may be, that's okay, but you might be slowing your progress down because of it. And I just want to make you guys aware of that. And so, usually, for most people, honestly, like, you probably wouldn't really have to switch up your workouts or anything like that. It, ever really, honestly, like, you can. And I think it's good to get a variety of things, but, like, if you've got like 3 to 5 exercises that you would just really like, that target and hit the body parts that you're wanting to hit, and you get a good workout out of it, you can do that for 4, 6, 8 weeks just fine. And you don't have to do all these crazy things where you're flying around like an acrobat. Okay. Let's see. There was an MLM that basically sold plastic wrap. People got so mad when I told them what it did. That's fucking selling plastic wrap. That shit's funny. That's awesome. Yeah. They like a kitchen MLM scam where they're just like, and then if you buy if you buy the jumbo pack of plastic wrap, we'll throw in some tin foil too. So you can, that's funny. But yeah, so overly complicated exercise, like, you don't need anything crazy. You just need to have, like, in all honesty, like, I'll add some, like, variations to some of the movements that I do for my workouts. But, like, I honestly, I do pretty much the same, like, 3 to 5 exercises, pretty much every week, for my body parts. And you can do the same too. And if you get to a point where you're like, I'm feeling kind of bored, like, I want to switch things up, or I want to throw in some new exercises, like, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't feel like you have to, like, be like hanging upside down from a pull-up bar, while somebody, like, punches your abs, and you've got, like, and you're holding, like, a barbell, like, and you're, like, crunching it. Like, you don't have to do crazy shit like that. Like, honestly, the more like, the more simplified your exercises are while still getting the same results, the better, because your body's going to get used to that, and it's going to be optimized for those movements. And so you're going to be able to get, more progress quicker, essentially, because of that. So does that make sense? Yeah, don't, like, you don't need super crazy complicated workouts. Like, it's just, like, simple is good. Simple is good. And I would say the same thing as well for food. And everybody likes flavor and things like that, like, and trying different things and different recipes. And I think that's fine too. But the more, like, factors that you can, like I guess, like, isolate or separate, and just, like, kind of be like, okay, these are the things I'm doing. Like, the more you can simplify your journey, and not overly complicate it, like, the better off you're going to be, because you can be consistent with simplicity, and a lot easier than you can be with, like, really crazy complicated shit. So that was number 2. Number 3. Number 3. Weight loss pills and cleanses, right? Weight loss pills and cleanses. You guys, if you've been following me at all, you know how I feel about fat burners and weight loss pills and cleanses and things like that. But at the end of the day, right, I want to explain why, on this, that those things are, at the end of the day, a waste of money overall, and honestly, potentially dangerous too. There are some cleanses that I've seen out there. There's some fat burner pills and things like that out there. Like they have ingredients in them that are not good for you. And let's talk about why they work, right? Why they work, they don't work. The thought process behind it, right? Why people see any results from those sorts of things. It's because most fat burners, or weight loss pills that exist out there, one, they don't actually burn fat. Like that's not how that shit works. Not only do they not do what they say they do, but the reason why people lose weight when they use those things is because 99% of the time, fat burners or weight loss pills and things like that contain just some sort of appetite suppressant. They just contain either a large amount of caffeine or like ephedrine, or like some of these other like appetite suppressants. And so what ends up happening is that you just, as a byproduct of taking those things, eat less food throughout the day because your appetite is suppressed. But you could accomplish pretty much the same thing, if not more, from just like a cup of black coffee, like having just caffeine in general. Like you can do those things. You don't need to take these pills that cost like an arm and a leg that are extremely expensive, that don't do that don't do anything more than a cup of coffee would do, right? You can suppress your appetite. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. You just have to be careful because there's like a potential like rebound effect that can happen where you're like, oh my god, now I'm really hungry, and you could run the risk of like binge eating because of it. But fat burner pills and things like that, they don't burn fat. That's not there is no fat burning pills that really exist out there. There are some supplements and things like that out there that are dangerous, that you can take that can do some of those things, but the risk versus reward is just not, it's just not there. So don't like it's funny because people are taking these pills to try and be healthier, or they're doing these cleanses to try and be healthier, but the act of doing or using those things at the end of the day is unhealthy, and does kind of defeats the purpose of actually doing those things in the first place. So at the end of the day, it's like if somebody is doing it, and let's be honest, like most of the time people aren't taking those things to be healthy, right? They're taking those things to try and lose weight really fast, or take a shortcut, right? But like I've said before, like if you take shortcuts, you're just going to shortcut yourself. Cleanses at the end of the day, like I've seen people talk about every other, like whenever we were living out in when we were living on the South Hill in Spokane, like Facebook has this like weird thing called like neighborhoods or whatever. There was like this lady that was just like so adamant about like cleanses and things like that, and I was just like, you don't need to like take cleanses, right? Like you don't need to use cleanses. Like we have organs that cleanse our body. And vast majority of the things that people put in cleanses that they take don't even do what they want them to do at the end of the day. So it's one of those things. If you like drinking celery juice, or you like having some of these other like things, like if you like it and you like the way it tastes and things like that, and if you feel like it's helping you, like at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna judge you for that, but I just want to let you know that it's not doing what you think it's going to do. And most of the time that you see these cleanses and things like that, they're extremely expensive, because either the person or the companies that are selling them like jack up the prices on fucking celery juice, and things like that. And so and a lot of times, again, these fit teas and these cleanses and stuff, they just have like appetite suppressants in them, or diuretics, or what's the other thing? The things that my brain is like so messed up right now too, from not getting as much sleep. Like diuretics, or they've got I can't think of what it's called. So basically, what causes people to go to the bathroom a lot more, right? And so again, you're a lot of times the people that are doing these cleanses or doing these kind of like crazy like supplements that are out there, they're not actually helping you burn fat or lose like actual weight that you want to lose. All they're doing is causing you to be really dehydrated or to be like empty, right? And then guess what happens whenever you eat food again, or you can like consume some carbs or things like that. What ends up happening is like your glycogen stores get replenished, and you gain a bunch of water weight back that you lost originally, because that's all it was in the first place, was water weight. So these things that people push and talk about and try to sell, like they just don't do what they say they do. And I don't want you guys to waste your money on shit that you don't need, or feel like you have to do these things to reach your goals, because you don't. Like by any stretch of the imagination, you don't need these things. So I see Erin. She says, I get what you're saying. It's okay to try new things, to have fun while you exercise, but you shouldn't be pressured into doing anything super complicated. Simple work. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like if somebody came to me and they're like, hey, like I've learned this new like exercise that I really like, that I saw, and it feels good and I enjoy it. Like I would be like, oh cool, I want to try that. Like that sounds cool. But just know that you guys don't need to do these specific exercise. Like you don't need any specific exercise. Like some people, are like, you know, if you don't bench, you're never gonna get a big chest, or if you don't squat, you're never gonna get big legs, or if you don't, deadlift, like, blah 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 blah. It's like those are pretty effective exercises, but you don't need to do any of those. There are alternatives to literally everything. And just figuring out what feels good for you and what works best for you is what you want to strive towards. At the end of the day, like like everybody was just like, whenever I first started lifting, everybody was like, oh my gosh, like if you don't bench, like, you're never, or if you don't squat, like, are you even a lifter? And it's like, what do you fucking mean? Like, for me, deadlifting always like kind of hurt my back. And, some of that, yeah, maybe due to form and things like that. But, at the end of the day, it just doesn't feel like like mechanically, it just doesn't feel like a good exercise for me. So guess what? There's like 50 other exercises out there that you can do that hit those same muscle groups, in a similar way. And it's like, I would rather just do those ones and know that I'm not going to hurt myself and be able to make more progress in the long term, because I'm not going to be injured. At the end of the day, it's figuring out what works best for you is what you want to do. So, and Aaron says, you're definitely going to feel better working out and eating a more balanced diet than you are taking those pills. Yeah, exactly. And so here's the thing too, guys. So people think that they need to take supplements, or they need to take, and we all fall into this trap, because whenever I first started working out, like people are like, oh my god, I've heard about this thing called creatine. Heard about this thing called creatine, or have you heard about this thing called like pre-workout? Have you ever had pre-work? Like, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, or like beta alanine, like there's all these like supplements, and I was like, oh my gosh, like if I take these things, I'm gonna be so much stronger. This is gonna change the game for me. This is gonna make I'm gonna get huge. I'm gonna get jacked as shit if I take these things. And and at the end of the day, uh, you know, I thought that those things were going to make the majority of my progress and help me reach my goals so much faster and things like that. When in reality, if you're not doing the other 99% of things properly, like you're getting your workouts in consistently, and having effective workouts, and training hard, or having your nutrition down packed and getting enough protein in, and being in, at whatever your caloric intake needs to be, like, getting your proper macros, like if getting good sleep, like, if you're not doing all these other things that make up the bulk of what progress, what's going to actually, like, help, what's actually going to push you forward and facilitate that progress in your journey. If you're not doing those things, those supplements aren't going to do shit for you. They're not going to do anything for you. And so, don't fall into that trap of thinking that you need these things, or you have to take these things, because, like, you're going to be able to reach like 95 to 99% of your potential, like your true potential, or get to your goals, if just from doing the simple things that that you need to do to reach your goals. Like, supplements can only do so much, and they're not going to do shit unless you're doing the other things right in the first place anyways. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's just the facts of things. And so there is no silver bullet, there is no magic pill, there is no you can't, you have to put the work in at the end of the day, right? You have to put the work in. And if you're somebody who just wants the results without putting in that work, I'm sorry, and I hate to break it to you, but you're literally never gonna make it because you're too focused on the results and not actually the journey itself. And hope I and if you're somebody who's watching this right now and like you're like I'll show you like that by all means, like I wish you the best of luck in your journey, and I hope that one day learn and grow and and see the way that I'm trying to like describe it. So other than that though, guys, that's all I really got for you guys. I'm super freaking out of it right now and tired, but I hope that this was helpful. Hopefully this was helpful. And yeah, other than that though, those are kind of like my top three things that I feel like are trends or fitness trends that are kind of useless or kind of like overhyped or just things that you want to avoid in general, especially if you're a newbie to your fitness journey. So yeah, avoid those things, and you're probably going to have a much better chance of succeeding towards your goals. So other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. If you watch this later time, hashtag replay, let me know that you saw it. Feel free to give this video a like, tag people who you think need to watch this, who would get value from it. And yeah, other than that, have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye, guys.